If you were following along before, the different things I was doing in this kitchen, I removed wallpaper and then I did some patching on this wall. I also floated it out and I tight skimmed it. Now that we removed that top trim, this is an afterthought. They decided to remove the ceiling over here in the kitchen. It was a drop ceiling, and now we've got to think about existing conditions and how we're going to tie those in. And do we have to do anything over here? Question becomes, what do we do right there? Because they're going to have to decide what to do to finish off the top of this cabinet and up to the ceiling. If they put a piece of trim that's straight up, let's say about 3.5 inches tall and 45 the corners and stuff, if they do that, you can see now that this area right here would have to be patched in. We'd have to skim that with 2 coats of sheetrock mud. But if they put some crown molding, the crown molding is going to come down here and go up at an angle like that. If they do that, I don't have to patch that, do I? Okay? So I have to keep that in mind and ask them if I need to do that. Okay, now on this other side, this side, there was no wallpaper on this wall. It's an existing wall. It already has a skip trowel texture on it, and that up there is just the paint difference between the new paint and the existing paint. And I looked up at that area and it seems to be fine. Okay, so I don't have to patch that with sheetrock mud at all. I come along in here and I look at this ceiling right here. This is the opening to the kitchen from the front door. There's the front door right there. Okay, drop T-bar ceiling used to go right to that yellow, and I floated out the bottom. Do you remember? Floated out the bottom. You may think, why didn't you wait until you did remove the ceiling? Well, you know, if you have a whole project like that, then yes, I would not have floated this out yet. You were right. Okay, but they decided this after I got done with this project of skimming out this wall. Okay, so now I've got to float this out, because no matter what they do to the cabinet, it doesn't matter now what they do to the cabinet, right? They can put trim straight up and down. Straight up and down here. They can put it out at an angle. If they put it out at an angle, it's going to be like this, no matter what. And even if they do that and they decide to run crown all the way across here, crown molding is the stuff that kind of comes up at an angle. Okay? It's still only going to come down to about here, let's say. It's not going to come down this far. So I know I'm going to have to float from here up at least to there, okay, to be on the safe side. I go right in there, all the way across. I'll have to put 2 coats on that and get it in there nice and smooth and clean, tie it into the existing. And see, above this window, here's the kitchen window looking out. Okay, you remember that? I floated that wall out too. We got the same thing we got to do there. Same exact thing. See, it doesn't matter. Trim can go straight up there, or the crown molding can come up like that. I still have to float this area out. And that's not that big of a deal. I know how to do that. You know how to do that too, don't you? So see, once you start breaking down these different videos, you will keep watching my channel. There's going to be all kinds of things you're going to learn. And when you break down different projects step by step, you think, well, that's not too hard. I think I could do that. And I think I could do this over here. And that other thing Joe was showing. Hey, you know what? All of a sudden, think of all the money you can save. And yes, there's going to be times where you should have done it differently. This cost you and it didn't look as nice as you thought, but every time you do something, you get that much better. That's what it's all about. So you know what? Next time you look at one of my videos, you might think, oh, that has nothing to do with what I need to learn. Well, maybe you might get a helpful tip about something, how I removed something, or about how I painted something, how I patched something, how I cleaned something up. just look at each video as a learning experience. What can I learn from that? Oh, I don't have that same particular project, but you know what? He used that type of plier instead of that over there. I saw how he did that. I can see how that's going to help me on my next project. Anything like that, you'll get better as you go. You keep watching Joe.